Hello, everyone. This is Dee Bryant from Dee Bryant Inspired. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me on my very first Dee Parent Talk podcast. This will also go up on my YouTube channel as well. And so I just want to say welcome. Thank you for joining me this evening. And so, I wanted to start this parent talk because, as I think about my book, Girls Wear Combat Boots Too, because of some key or valuable life lessons that are actually taking place throughout this book, I kind of wanted to pull some nuggets out of my book to kind of help our parents and our caregivers, just to help, shape the positive thinking of our young people. And so I'm just doing my little part to help. I'm no expert. But I'm sure you're probably curious to know what makes me an expert to come and talk about this. And so, for those of you that probably already know, I am a wife and a mother. I have two adult daughters, ages 20 and 23. I've been a very active parent, especially during my children's elementary, middle school years. And so I was actually the PTA or PTF president of my children's private school. They were in a Christian school. I was the president for 1 year, and so that was a very exciting job. And so just being able to serve in that capacity, I had the opportunity to develop relationships with teachers, parents, administrators, and also students. And that's where I realized that, there's a need to try and do a little bit more for our young people to try and help to get them to see that they are enough. And so I decided to dig into my own experience. And so my book, Girls Wear Combat Boots Too, is kind of loosely based on my story. I'm airborne qualified there in the Army. And so very interesting story. You can get your copy there at Walmart, Target, Barnes& and Noble, and also Amazon. Yeah, so you can get your copy today and you can kind of follow along with me. But what I was hoping to do on this particular segment is I kind of wanted to pull out a valuable life lesson dealing with self-confidence. And I think that's a very important topic, especially for our young people. And so I guess as I think about the book, I think it's important for all of you to know and understand that, my book, Girls Wear Combat Boots Too, it's more than just a story. It's a heartfelt journey of inspiration and resilience. And I like how the book, it revolves around, encouraging, young people, regardless of their gender, to dream big and to not give up on their aspirations, basically. And so I like how throughout the book, it pretty much it touches on some key nuggets I think that we as parents and caregivers can certainly appreciate, dealing with valuable life lessons such as, self-confidence, determination, resilience, perseverance, believing in oneself, and the list goes on. And so as I do these parent talks, I'm going to be pulling some of those things out of the book, and I'm just going to bring you like a 5 to 8 minute segment on the particular topic to kind of just provide some insight and also provide some helpful tips that I think that will help you as you are developing that young person to be all that he or she can be. And so today what I wanted to do was pretty much talk about the importance of self-confidence. It's all about having ability in yourself, having self-worth and all of that. And so I guess as I started to dig into this particular topic, I've come across like 5 key valuable lessons learned type areas that I kind of wanted to touch on. And so it's kind of like my 5 tips when it comes to self-confidence. And so tip number 1 is positive reinforcement. And so I see, it's important that you praise those young people, regardless of how big or how small, because every time you praise what you're doing, you're building that self-confidence. And so tip number 2 is dealing with set realistic goals. And so I think we as adults, we all have responsibility to help shape, the thinking and the upbringing of our kids. And so I guess when I think in terms of being able to set goals, that's so important. And I think even just to start at a young age, I don't think you're never really too young to start learning how to, to identify what it is they want to do and kind of like help them get there from A to Z, basically. And so when it comes to setting goals, all I'm saying is that help them, as the adult to set achievable goals because, as they start to focus on, achieving little milestones one step at a time, it's just really helping to boost their self-confidence, and that's so important. And so tip number 3 is model confidence. As you know, children, they often learn by what they see. They learn by example. And so as the adult, I think that it is so important that we are always setting a good example, especially when it comes to confidence in our words, in our actions, and our deeds, because our young kids, they're watching and they're emulating everything that you do. Tip number 4, celebrate mistakes. And so this is an important one because I think, we all want to do well. It's human nature, and we don't want to make a mistake. We just want to do well in everything that we do. But I think that it's so important that you get our young people to realize and understand that mistakes, this is an opportunity to learn and to grow. And so I think when we take that kind of mindset, it's going to help our kids to not focus so much on failure, simply because they know, by making a mistake, I'm learning, I'm doing it better next time, and, they will be just that much focused. And then number 5, promote a growth mindset. Once again, I think that is important to, it's okay to recognize that we all have strengths and weaknesses, right? So we all have that. But I think that is important for young people to realize and understand that, their abilities can be developed through determination and hard work. And as a result, great things will happen based on exactly what they are expecting. And so I think it's important that we try to get them to see that, a mindset of growth is crucial, especially when it comes to being able to get them to see that, they have the potential to do better, and they really do. And so those are my 5 tips for today under self-confidence, dealing with positive reinforcement, set realistic goals, model confidence, celebrate mistakes, and promote a growth mindset. And what I find interesting also, and I say this all the time, I honestly believe that we are all put on this earth on purpose, not for a purpose, but on purpose. And with that being said, I honestly believe that we are all born with unique gifts, talents, and abilities to be great. And I believe that to be so. And so, what's really interesting is that many times, we don't recognize those things, those seeds of greatness growing inside of us because they're sitting dormant. Sometimes we just need a boost from someone like you or someone to kind of like get us stirred up in our thinking in terms of knowing that we can and we have the ability to be better tomorrow than we are today. And so I just want to challenge you to just continue to pour into that young person, to try to be the best person that they can possibly be. And then I think the important thing, I want to challenge you to be present, because as I said before, when it comes to building self-confidence, it is indeed a journey. So it requires continuous reinforcement, time, patience, and the list goes on. And so I challenge you just to be there for that young person, to help them as they navigate their young life to building self-confidence. And so this just about wrapped things up. And so I just want to say, I'm so glad that you took the time to join me this evening. And so stay tuned, because I'm going to try and do a little segment once a week for you. So we'll see how that goes. And so I hope that something was said here today actually helped you, or at least stirred up some thinking in you in terms of how to kind of like, I don't know, kind of build on what you're already teaching that young special person in your life today. And so until next time, stay safe and blessed, and take good care. Bye-bye.